LAMH. He said something about it. I'm like, oh, really? He going to film with Love and Marriage? I wonder who he filming with. Our views is suspected in this legend. Yeah, baby. Yes, let me say that, y'all. Everything I'm saying is a legend and in my opinion. Because y'all know I love to have fun. It's time to have fun. Yeah, but this hoe got back and said I didn't have 28.9 thousand views. She said, I'm buying views over there. I'm buying them. I wonder when I hang up this page tonight, how many views I'm gonna have when they add all them bitches over there on that damn tree, hanging out like motherfucking limbs. All them bitches over there hanging down like motherfucking limbs. I wanna be with you. I like you, Miss Wanda. Can I be your friend? Fuck myself. I don't wanna be a friend no more. I don't wanna be like them trees. I don't wanna eat that. I don't like that. Don't give me that. No. That's what they saying over by myself. I don't want to be her friend no more.
Wanda from Love and Marriage Huntsville has once again found herself right in the middle of some heavy drama. This time, her name is being mentioned in connection with a serious situation involving blogger True T, the lawsuit between Miss Black Titanic and Maurice Scott, and an offer that many people are calling shocking. Wanda went live on her YouTube channel and made comments that immediately caught the attention of viewers, bloggers, and fans of the show. She spoke openly, emotionally, and sometimes without much filter, as she tends to do. But this time, what she said raised major eyebrows because it sounded like she was offering information to a blogger in exchange for a lawsuit being dropped. Now, let's get into what actually happened. Wanda went live recently because, according to her, someone had called DHR, which stands for the Department of Human Resources, and made a report against her. She said the report claimed that she was using drugs and that whoever made the report even gave the agency her phone number and address. That was enough to make Wanda furious and take to her platform to address what she felt was a false and malicious accusation. Wanda explained that when the DHR investigator came to her home, everything changed once the person realized who she was. According to Wanda, once the investigator recognized her from Love and Marriage Huntsville, things calmed down quickly and the situation was no longer a problem. She said the DHR agent was even a fan of the show, which made her feel like the situation wasn't as serious as she feared. Still, Wanda was convinced that a blogger had something to do with that report. She didn't hold back her frustration, and as she continued talking, her emotions began to spill over into other areas. She started bringing up bloggers, old friends, and past situations that have been brewing for months in the LAMH YouTube world. During this live, Wanda mentioned the blogger True T, and what she said next is what set off a wave of discussions across social media. She looked into the camera and said, "True T, get in touch with me, girl. I got some news you can use." She went on to say she had information about certain people, information she believed could be useful. Then, she added that she had given this information to her lawyer. The most shocking part came when Wanda appeared to suggest that she wanted the case involving Maurice Scott and Miss Black Titanic to be dropped. She said something along the lines of drop the case, a favor for a favor. That line had everyone's attention, because it sounded like she was implying a deal, a trade of information in exchange for the lawsuit being dropped. If that wasn't enough, Wanda added more fuel to the fire by saying she and her people know how to close things. She talked about people needing to work together and hinted that friendships and alliances could make certain problems go away. Her comments were all over the place, but the message was clear enough for people to believe that Wanda was trying to insert herself into a situation that really didn't involve her. From that point, things took a turn. Wanda began talking about Marcella, someone she had once called a friend, but who is now on the list of people she no longer speaks positively about. She accused Marcella of being fake and seemed to connect her name with the drama surrounding bloggers, lawsuits, and social media accusations. Wanda's live wasn't just emotional. It was full of confusion, tension, and threats that didn't sound like jokes. Now let's break down what this actually means. Wanda, as fans know, has always been outspoken. She has never shied away from controversy. Whether it's arguing with cast members, showing up at events uninvited, or speaking her mind about things that don't concern her directly, she has always been that person who brings fire to any conversation. But this time, it feels different. Offering information to a blogger, especially when that information is connected to an ongoing legal matter, is not just messy. It's dangerous. If Wanda truly believes that she can exchange tea or gossip about certain individuals for a lawsuit to be dropped, she's walking a very fine line. These are real legal matters that can affect people's lives, reputations, and even finances. The lawsuit between Miss Black Titanic and Maurice Scott has already drawn attention in the Love and Marriage Huntsville community. It has been discussed, analyzed, and debated for months. For Wanda to step in and make it sound like she could influence that case by offering something in return raises questions about what kind of information she believes she has and who gave it to her. It's important to remember that Wanda is not a lawyer, and her involvement in legal issues like this can make things worse. By saying she gave information to her lawyer, she might have thought she was protecting herself, but she may actually be opening herself up to more problems. When you start talking about lawsuits publicly, especially when you're not directly involved, things can escalate quickly. The other issue here is Wanda's motivation. From what she said in her live, she feels deeply hurt and angry about the DHR report. She believes that bloggers are targeting her, spreading lies, and trying to ruin her name. That kind of anger can make a person act out emotionally and impulsively. It's possible that her offer to True Tea came from a place of frustration rather than strategy. Maybe she wanted to feel like she had some control over what's been happening to her. But whether it was emotional or intentional, it still created a storm. Fans who watched the live said that Wanda didn't seem to realize the seriousness of what she was saying. Her tone was playful at times, but her words were heavy. The idea of connecting a blogger to a lawsuit and asking for the case to be dropped in exchange for information sounds like an attempt to interfere, even if she didn't mean it that way. And that's where the real danger lies. When Wanda said, "We know how to close things," it gave the impression that there are people working behind the scenes trying to manipulate outcomes. That kind of talk makes viewers wonder whether other cast members are aware of what's going on or even participating in it. It brings Maurice and Kimmy into the conversation in a way that they probably don't appreciate. Wanda even mentioned that Kimmy and Maurice are doing fine and that they understand. Those words made it seem like Wanda had spoken to them and that they were aware of her comments, which could make the situation even messier. If what Wanda said was true, that she spoke to Maurice and Kimmy about dropping the case, then that adds a whole new layer of complexity. But if she was just speaking off emotion and exaggerating, it's still a problem, because now people are questioning what Maurice and Kimmy actually know. Either way, Wanda's live created more confusion and more controversy for the Scott family. What's even more concerning is how casual Wanda seemed about it all. She laughed, made jokes, and used some very strong language while talking about serious issues. At one point, she began going off on a tangent about personal things and using explicit language that made many viewers uncomfortable. It was clear she was angry and fed up, but she didn't seem to care how her words might be perceived. This is not the first time Wanda's mouth has gotten her in trouble. Over the years, she has made several comments that caused backlash. Whether it was about Melody Shari, Martell Holt, or other members of the Love and Marriage Huntsville cast, Wanda's energy is always bold and raw, but sometimes she doesn't think about the consequences before she speaks, and this situation feels like another example of that. The connection between Wanda and bloggers has always been interesting. She's very aware of what's being said online. She watches videos, reads comments, and often responds directly to things people say about her. She even admitted that she knows which bloggers are for Melody and which ones are not. That means she's not just a casual viewer. She's paying close attention. So when she said she had information to offer True Tea, she likely knew exactly what she was doing and who she was talking to. The timing of this whole situation also makes it even more suspicious. The lawsuit involving Maurice Scott has been a topic of conversation for a long time. And for Wanda to suddenly mention it right after being reported to DHR seems strategic. It's almost as if she's trying to get back at certain people or shift the focus away from herself. But the problem is that she might be dragging herself deeper into something much bigger than she realizes. There's also a part of this story that shows how divided the Love and Marriage Huntsville community has become. Between the cast, the fans, and the bloggers, there are clear lines being drawn. People are choosing sides, spreading information, and in some cases creating chaos. Wanda's live just added more fuel to that division. By involving names like True T and Miss Black Titanic, she brought even more attention to ongoing legal matters that should probably stay private. During the rest of her live, Wanda continued to defend herself against other accusations. She said people were claiming that she buys views for her channel, something she laughed off and denied. She said she doesn't even know how to buy views, and insisted that her supporters are real people who watch her because they like her personality. Then she addressed blogger Anthony Lofties, telling him that if he wanted to sue her, he should go ahead and do what he had to do. It was another example of Wanda daring people to challenge her, as if she's always ready for a fight. But here's where things get serious. Wanda is not just dealing with gossip anymore. By bringing up lawsuits and suggesting trades of information, she's getting dangerously close to situations that could have real consequences. Legal cases are not games, and the people involved have every right to protect themselves. If Wanda continues to talk publicly about these issues, she could unintentionally make things worse for herself and others. The sad part in all of this is that Wanda's actions seem to come from a place of hurt. She feels like people have turned on her, lied about her, and tried to destroy her reputation. The DHR situation probably scared her and made her feel betrayed. But instead of calming down and staying quiet, she chose to go live and vent. That's what makes social media so tricky. It gives people the power to speak instantly, even when they're emotional or angry. And once those words are out there, you can't take them back. People who watched her live were left with mixed feelings. Some said they understood her frustration, that being reported to DHR is serious and would upset anyone. Others said she went too far by bringing up lawsuits and calling out names. The way she spoke about True T made it seem like she was trying to use that blogger to get revenge, and that's not a good look. Whether she meant it seriously or not, it still came across as manipulative. It's also worth mentioning how quiet Maurice and Kimmy have been throughout all of this. They haven't publicly responded to Wanda's comments, which could mean they don't want to make the situation bigger. But it also raises the question of whether they even knew she was going to say all that. If they didn't, Wanda might have just created a new wave of problems for them. In the end, Wanda's live showed how messy things can get when emotions, gossip, and legal issues mix together. Her decision to go public with her frustration may have felt good in the moment, but it could backfire later. Offering information in exchange for a lawsuit being dropped is not something to joke about. Even if she was just venting, those words carry weight. The bigger picture here is that Love and Marriage Huntsville has become more than just a reality show. It's a web of real people, real relationships, and real consequences. When family members of cast members get involved in drama like this, it shows how blurred the lines have become between the show and real life. Wanda may not be a main cast member, but she's just as visible and just as controversial. It's hard not to feel like this situation could have been avoided. If Wanda had simply taken a break and not gone live, she could have avoided drawing more attention to herself. But that's not who Wanda is. She's fiery, outspoken, and emotional. That's what makes her entertaining, but it's also what gets her into trouble. As it stands now, people are waiting to see what happens next. Will True T respond? Will the bloggers involved address Wanda's comments? Will Maurice and Kimmy have to make a statement to clear things up? Nobody knows yet. But one thing is certain. Wanda's words are out there, and they've already made an impact. It's also possible that this could make the tension between the LAMH cast even worse. The show has already been dealing with fractured friendships, legal drama, and public fights. Adding Wanda's latest statements to the mix only stirs the pot further. Fans are left wondering who's telling the truth, who's hiding something, and who's trying to manipulate the situation. At the end of the day, Wanda's live was a reminder that sometimes silence is more powerful than words. When you're emotional and hurt, the best thing to do is step back, think, and let time calm things down. But Wanda did the opposite. She went live, spoke her mind, and gave everyone more to talk about. Now, she's facing public backlash, new speculation, and even more attention. Exactly what she said she didn't want. The best move for Wanda now might be to stay quiet, avoid discussing legal matters, and focus on herself. Because if she keeps talking, she might say something that can't be undone. In the world of Love and Marriage Huntsville, every word travels fast. And with Wanda's latest live, those words might travel further than she ever expected.